bitte.
I mean, for me it's really exciting to have two top motorsports athletes here in my hangar, because it's not just about like doing my job, it's really like we are talking about the same stuff, you know, we are talking about RPMs, about speeds, about the same experiences and sharing them, and that's exciting for me, you know. I'm interested in DTM, in Formula 1, in NASCAR, because sometimes I try to imagine how they feel, how long they have to focus in racing to succeed, you know, and I try to learn from them, I try to learn from everybody. It's a good feeling, it makes me even motivated more for the racing.
Brian is somebody who is driving on the streets, two-dimensional, sort of two-dimensional. How is it with the respect to the performance of pilots like Hannes who are flying races in three-dimensional tracks?
The respect is very high. You know, we've been talking about it a lot today, and you know, that third dimension just changes everything. It's not, you know, like in a race course, you know, you put in another turn, it's just another turn. But these guys, I mean, they have to think, you know, completely different, and especially when you factor in how low they are. You know, I mean, flying, you know, I've flown, I don't have my license, but I've flown some, you know, just with a friend sitting right seat in a plane, and you know, you're 13, 15, 20,000 feet in the air. You're not going to, like, if you make a mistake, you're not going to hit anything. You know, these guys are like so close to the ground, and they have so much, so little room between the pylons and what they do, and the margin for error is almost non-existent. And, you know, I think that's really where the respect comes in. They're going so fast, and they have to think so much. They're pulling so many G's. I mean, I flew in a two-seater once, and you know, when I was in in a full turn, I just wanted to think about not passing out. I didn't want to think about like where am I flying.
David, how do you feel about that? Because you also see the pictures, you had a media flight about 1 year ago, so you have a better idea how is it pulling high G, things like that. And I think you're also a pilot. How do you, when you see the pictures of the air race, how do you feel about it and about the performance of the athlete?
Well, first of all, I should correct, I don't have a pilot's license. I've flown a few times, but yeah, I think the impressive thing for me when you try and imagine to be at such speed so close to the ground and trying to do the gates is to have that spatial awareness. You know, when you drive a racing car, or certainly the way I drive a racing car, I'm just looking at three elements. I'm looking at a braking point, an apex, and an exit point, and everything else just blurs for me. I don't need to focus on those points. And again, I don't need to worry about what's above me, because what was above me might actually be the ground at that point, or what's on my left or my right. I'm just focused on the track in front, and pretty much if you put your front wheel and you miss the barrier, the rear wheel will follow. So I think our sport is a lot more simple in that respect. But I think that what Hannes was saying there, the fun thing for just the three of us talking here is to talk about the technology. There's many parallels between air race and what Brian does with NASCAR and what I do now with DTM and what we used to do in Formula 1. It's all about performance, and it's man and machine trying to create that performance, which is the interesting part, because we need to develop technology, and we need to use that technology to get the best out of ourselves.
Could you see also, Hannes had a really big incident in qualifying 2 weeks ago, and afterwards he won in great style. So how would you say, as a sportsman, as an athlete, how is this possible? How do you have to deal with this, what happens?
Well, you know, the aircraft is made out of all sorts of trick composites and all the rest of it, and so are his testicles. He's got balls of carbon fibre, so he had that incident in qualifying. A normal man, it would have just disappeared and never come back out. But with Hannes, he just had them protected, got back in the aircraft, went out and won the race. Thanks, David.